The next track on the album is a song called Good Grief, and it delves into feelings of confusion and despair. Now,
It's a great title because confusion and despair, good grief, a little bit of irony there.
yeah,
Like, good grief, Charlie Brown, but also it's
yeah,
like the grief is good.
yeah.
Like the grief can help you grow. So yeah, it's a perfect title.
See, a lot of people didn't know this, and I didn't know this until I was researching this album, that they didn't have a falling out, so to speak, but Cobain and Grohl weren't on the best of terms during the In Utero tour.
No, Kurt's ailing health, his addiction, he overdosed in Rome. He was very self-isolating at that point, very just put off by fame in general.
Yeah,
So it made him very antisocial. So when they tried to get together to work, he either didn't want to do it, or he'd make some excuse and then go shoot up and go check into a hotel room for a week.
yeah.
So, you know.
I mean, there was rumors going around that they'd be on the same hotel room floor, and Cobain would be like so loud that everybody could hear him on that floor. And he was saying, screw Dave, screw Chris, they're both fired. I don't, and people would be telling Kurt,
Yeah,
hey, they can hear what you're saying, and Kurt's like, I don't care. I'll
yeah,
say it louder if you don't want to. Bring them here. I'll tell them to their face. He's kind
yeah.
of
They
very, very
almost
defiant.
Yeah, they almost broke up a couple of times, and a lot of it was just directly from Cobain's struggles with his very rapidly found fame because Nevermind took off so quickly,
Yeah,
and it just created a lot of tension. And Dave he could sense the instability, and it made him insecure about his role and his future in
yeah,
the band because Kurt's condition was so volatile all the time. It was always changing. He was very, he would go from times where he was sublimely happy to angry and depressed in just like a moment's notice sometimes
yeah.
because of his relapses and his stomach issues and his addiction and all that. So it was a really complicated time for him.
Well, Dave Grohl went to Chris Novoselic a few times and said, "Look, if you want me to leave, I'll leave." And Novoselic was like, "Dude, don't worry about it. Just seriously, he's just this Kurt being Kurt. Just let him be. He'll
Yeah.
be fine." And in the Kurt Cobain diary book, there's a letter that he wrote to Novoselic, which broke a lot of people's hearts. Because Kurt was just, I want to say unhinged, but he wasn't him. He wasn't himself. He wasn't the same Kurt Cobain that everybody knew him as around about the Nevermind time and the early parts in Utero too.
Yeah, for sure. He had the fame got to him. It was a meteoric rise. In the biography, "Come as You Are," he basically explains that he just wanted to be able to pay his bills and not have to flip burgers or
Yeah,
work a construction job, that kind of thing. He wanted just to be able to pay his bills. He wasn't trying to be an icon or be the greatest of all time or a voice of a generation. That bothered him. You
yeah.
know.
And a lot of people can't handle the fame, and we're seeing that now with certain pop stars out there going off the deep end. The I can't remember her name. The chick who wrote "Hot to Go" is very, very volatile in her dealing with people.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, what they live in somebody else's dream. I
Yeah.
mean, there's people who'd love to be stuck in a hotel room getting yelled at by their fans. And I get some people can't handle the fame, and some people don't want the fame to begin with, but when you're as talented as some of these people are, you should expect it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, Kurt Cobain was a talented songwriter. He might not have been the best guitarist, and he might not have been the best singer, but as a songwriter, fantastic.
Yeah, he was very creative as far as like the progressions he used, and like what I was saying earlier about Dave, like the way he arranged his stuff too. It was very unique. It stood out. A good example of that is In Bloom. If you listen to that one,
Yeah,
there's so many accidentals. It adds a lot of tension. It's like resolving and then dissonanting, or creating dissonance rather. So yeah, it just his songwriting was definitely his strongest thing. But I don't think anybody else could have sang for Nirvana.
no, nobody could have. Nobody could have.
You
Now,
know.
the funny thing about Kurt Cobain is a lot of people have twisted his legacy a little bit, and he is totally the guy who'd see a kid wearing a Nirvana shirt and say, "Hey, name 3 songs."
Yeah,
I mean, you only got to
absolutely.
listen to the lyrics of "In Bloom" to figure that one out,
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
yeah, so But that one was, like I said, good grief. You know, just he was Grohl was witnessing the decline of one of his friends and got his guitar out and wrote about it.
Yep.
You know, so if you're feeling down, write about it. That's you know, that if you can't help somebody, get it out yourself. You know,
Yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense. So